everyone. This is the review video for exam 2. As usual, I typed it, so I don't have it in electronic form, so I'll do my best to type out the questions here for clarity. Number 1, what are the 3 types of law that Thomas Aquinas describes? Eternal law, natural law, and human law. Part 2 of the question, explain how they fit together. This is crucial, right? That they do fit together in a certain way, and that way is that the one depends on the other. That is, the one that's independent is eternal law, because that's God's will, what God decrees for the universe in all respects. Natural law is the human partial participation in that law, which is truth, the laws of nature, but also the moral laws, that natural law is the limited human capacity to reason and to appreciate or to know God's eternal law. Human law is based upon natural law. That is, human law is the laws that we say something particular about what should be done in a particular community, but it's all based on natural law. It's a particularization of natural law, and it has to be in tune with natural law in order to be valid law. Number 2, according to Dante in De Monarchia, obviously, what is man's basic power and the proper work of mankind taken as a whole? Same answer, intellectual growth, or the capacity for intellectual growth, or something to that effect. Doesn't have to be exactly in that, but to learn and to grow intellectually and to find truth. It is the basic power, the basic function of human beings. It's what separates them from the animals, and the the proper work of us as a species is to grow intellectually. It sounds a lot like enlightenment, actually, which is really astounding given that, what are there, 500 years separating Dante from Kant? Number 3, what does tawny mean by the social organism? What does he mean by the social organism? It's the idea that the society in its social structure should be organized along the lines of the body, of a body, or an organism. What's crucial there is that the organization is a class organization. I think that really needs to be said to really properly answer the question. That is, each of the classes of a society, not so much the individuals, but the classes, and so by extension the individuals, but crucially by their class membership and doing the work or function of their class, that each of these classes contributes to the well-being of the whole society in an analogous way that the different parts of the body, the head, the hands, the feet, the heart, contribute to the well-being of the organism as a whole. So, yeah, that's what that means, for whatever it's worth. And that's the answer. There's all sorts of other interesting things to say, but that's the answer. Let's see, number 4. Explain why didn't come out. Explain why in Hobbes's Leviathan equality is actually a bad thing. I don't know why it's not. Okay, try it again. I'll explain why in Hobbes' Leviathan equality is actually a bad thing, because the kind of equality he's talking about isn't moral equality or political equality. It's equality of ability, both mental and physical. And it's a bad thing because this equality of ability gives us all equal hope in attaining our ends, and that this inevitably leads to conflict and the state of war between every individual and the state of nature. So it's a bad thing because it leads to conflict, because it gives us equal hope of achieving our ends, which oftentimes are ends for the same thing. So competition and conflict result. So it's actually bad. Number 5. Explain what Kant means by the public use of reason. The public use of reason is when we are addressing the public. It's speech and reasoning and thoughts and opinions directed towards the world as a whole, or the entire reading public, or the literate world. So that's the answer. You could have, gone into its distinction from private reason, but that's what it means. So you can't go right into, the public use of reason needs to be free. No, you have to explain what the public use of reason is here. So that really was not the right answer. If you just give his saying that it needs to be free, you have to explain what it is. Number 6, according to the Declaration of the Rights of Man, what is the only limit to political liberty? The only limit to political liberty is harm. That is, people, that's the answer. It's harm. Or when it interferes with somebody else's rights, when it violates somebody else's rights or harms them. The real answer is harm here. But the other answer is quite sufficient too. That is, according to the Declaration of the Rights of Man, the only limit to liberty, the only limit to personal liberty is harming another. Anything that can't be established to harm another cannot be outlawed, cannot be prevented. It should be, each person has that freedom. And finally, number 7, what does Wollstonecraft mean by the tyranny of man? What I just wanted to make sure we're all clear on is that when she says that, she's not talking about man as in mankind, as in human beings, the human species. She means man as in men, as opposed to women, males. And that men tyrannize over women, which is essentially saying that men exercise power beyond right. That's what tyranny is, the exercise of power beyond right. It's oppression. It's illegitimate power. And so men, as a gender, tyrannize over women, is what she's saying. So if you have any questions after looking at this video about how I graded your exam, please feel free to contact me, and we will go over your exam in particular, and I hopefully will be able to answer any questions and correct any mistakes.